The arrival of the monsoon season in the western Ghats of Maharashtra is an extraordinary sight. As the clouds roll in, the entire region comes alive with its rich biodiversity. This also happens to be the breeding season of fireflies, one of the few bioluminescent insects that can be found on the Indian terrain. Once a year, right after the first rains, they can be seen glowing in abundance through these dense pine forests. Amol Patwardhan, an entomologist who specializes in the study of beetles, explains how this illumination is part of the mating behavior of the male fireflies looking to woo their female counterparts.
The fireflies are basically the beetles. Okay, although they are called as flies, they are actually beetles. The females are flightless. They are larviform, means they don't appear like a beetle. So they crawl on ground, and the males, they are active flyers. Means there are few creatures on this planet who communicate with the light signal. So fireflies are one of them.
The Western Ghats are also called the Sahyadri Range, translating as the Mountain of Patience. At the foothills of this mountain range, the largest in the country after the Himalayas, one can find a profusion of these bioluminescent creatures. Over the years, however, this natural phenomenon has been turned into a popular tourist attraction. Organized mostly in campsites, Firefly Festivals have been drawing tourists in hordes, especially around Maharashtrian hamlets like Rajmachi, Prabalmachi and Igatpuri. We are close to the tribal village of Purushwadi, in the heart of the Sandhan Valley in the Western Ghats, at one such festival.
It's a season which is not only in terms of transitioning, it's a time not only of transitioning of the season, but it's also kind of a festive time because there's a whole lot of anticipation for the monsoons. And this, somewhere we have seen that the fireflies come and celebrate this entire aspect. Now the villagers by themselves in the region that we looked at, they themselves, it's been an innate part of their culture for centuries. Bioluminescence tends to be more magical in terms of that. But I also think that because that region that we were working in was close to the mega markets of Bombay and Pune, it also helped create a kind of a demand of sorts inside.
The Purushwadi Fire Festival, however, unlike most others in the region, seems to have ensured that it is led entirely by the rural community. Trained by Grassroots, a private tour company that organizes rural expeditions for urban travelers, the villagers here work as local guides, sharing their own experiences and what it means to live so close to the fireflies.
हे काजू बघायलासाठी आम्ही जातो आणि काजूंच्या बद्दल म्हणजे काजू कसे येतात इकडे त्याचे म्हणजे कुठे राहतात आणि केव्हा म्हणजे कशा हे स्वरूपात असतात आणि ते का चमकतात त्याच्याबद्दल पूर्ण आम्ही पर्यटकांना सांगतो.
For this tribal community, firefly watching has turned into a unique livelihood opportunity right in their backyards. More than 100 families from the village are active stakeholders of the festival, some hosting tourists through homestays, others serving traditional meals to add to the rural experience.
काजूंमुळे आम्हाला रोजगार मिळतो कारण काजू बघायसाठी बाहेरल्या देशातले लोक भरपूर येतात मग त्यांच्यामुळे आमचा फायदा होतो. महिन्यावर तशी जर सारखी जर आली तर मग होते कशी प्रत्येक कुटुंबाला 2-3 हजार रुपये होतातच आणि सारखे नसल्यावर मग होतात तरी 2 हजाराच्या पुढेच असतात पण तेवढंच आम्हाला लय महत्त्वाचं असतं कारण आमच्या ग्रामीण भागामध्ये कामच नाही दुसरा आम्हाला म्हणजे कुठेतरी नोकरी करायची लागते मग आम्ही कुठं बाहेर जातो का नाही मग बाहेर आता जायचं थांबलो एवढं 4 महिने आमचं जातात.
This proliferation of firefly festivals, however, especially in Maharashtra, has been sounding the alarm bell within wildlife circles. Experts have been pointing out how what seems like harmless ecotourism at many of these festivals is in fact endangering the lives of the beetle species.
Apparently in India we don't have kind of sensible tourism. So the Fireflies festival, the organizers, they attract tourists in the view of taking good photos. They need to be made aware that what you see on the plant is only the male. When you walk near the plant, probably you are killing a female which is walking down below your feet. People should not be allowed to go near that tree because the communication will be disrupted. Apart from that, the female will get killed, and apparently number of females are slightly lesser than males. So if they are killed, the next generation will be hampered.
Currently, there are over 20 different Firefly Festivals organized by various tour operators across Maharashtra. In what is calamitous to the species, many of them lure tourists by flaunting their expertise in hosting large groups, offering loud music, party lights, barbecues, and campfires. Apart from the dangers of crowd and noise, any form of artificial lighting is extremely disruptive to the species in particular. Since their own language is bioluminescence, any other form of light confuses them and leads them astray. Light pollution, in fact, is one of the biggest threats to fireflies currently. Mumbai-based ecologist Anand Pindarkar has been trying to rein in these activities for some time now. So far, with help from the Forest Department, he has identified 5 to 6 festivals and managed to put a stop to some of their commercial activities that imperil the species.
Unfortunately, I'll be very harsh to say that the tourism operator groups who are taking people for Firefly festivals have zero understanding of fireflies. They don't know the species, they give zero information. It's just the wow factor and the Instagram and the Twitter and the social media, Facebook videos and reels that people are going there for. There is no information given about them. The operators don't know, they don't have ecologists that they take with them. And they will just say, oh, it's a beetle. They just go, they see that, and then they have glittering lights which are put out, and they say it's Firefly Festival. That is, that's not going really far. And when we compare this with European or American or even in Hawaii and these places where people actually get into ecological festivals, we fall really flat on our face.
Fireflies are known to be chemical communicators and are a sensitive insect species, much like dragonflies. This makes them more vulnerable to the smallest intrusion. Anthropogenic activities like light pollution, infrastructure projects, pesticides, vehicular traffic, and the loss of habitat have all triggered a drastic decline of the species, according to experts.
Fireflies are basically predatory in nature. They are hunters. They're small, but they're very important hunters in the forest. So they control the population of cicadas, they control the population of many other, mayflies and caddisflies and several other insects which can become pest levels. So their role as pest control is very, very large. So any number of drop in the number of fireflies can have a direct impact on the forest. So when people come touch trees and other things, we're leaving a chemical mark on many of other things. While walking, we're dropping chemical pheromones or chemicals on the ground. There's not much research, there's not much studies done on them, how human bodily chemicals as well as vehicular pollution and all is affecting them. There's very minimal studies. Already chemicals that we use, pesticides and other things, have reduced the population by more than 70 to 80%. They are down to their 20 to 30% numbers. So any more human intervention and pollution will totally wipe them off. And we have just 7 or 8 species in the entire country.
With their livelihoods closely intertwined with the beetle species, the Purushwari community tells us they are overcautious about the perils of commercialization. Tourists here are made to toe the line, including rules like no use of torchlights and no overcrowding.
जे पर्यटक येतात आणि ते पण पकडायचा प्रयत्न करतात तर आम्ही त्यांना सांगतो की हे पकडलं की त्यांना खूप छोटे असतात आणि त्यांना पकडलं तर ते मरू शकतात आणि त्यांना हे प्रकृतीमध्ये काही क्षणापुरताच येतात, म्हणजे काही टायमापुरताच येतात. तर त्यांचा तो आनंद आपण फक्त समजून किंवा बघूयात आणि त्यांना जर का त्रास दिला तर म्हणजे ते आमचं निसर्गातील एक सौंदर्य पण कमी होईल काही दिवसानंतरून, की ते थोडं कमी होत जाईल.
Tourists at Purushwadi also seem to acknowledge that a festival like this one seems more deliberate in their conservation efforts.
The other places that I have been, they are like really crowded, first of all, right? So I go to Rajmachi village usually, and that's where like if you go there, you will find like scores of people, right? And that makes it really difficult to enjoy something in peace. And that's something that I found here like really different. Not many people, and I think the village people have been like really hospitable, right? So it seems like a lot less commercialized than what we have seen before.
Strangely, there is barely any in-depth scientific research around this bioluminescent species in India. Lack of funds and the fact that these nocturnal creatures are seasonal have been stated as the main reasons. But the long-term repercussions of poor scientific awareness or targeted conservation could cost us dearly in the long run, ecologists warn.
So now, because of the financial benefits that come with it, even the local people, they don't understand the value it plays in their own things, because later in their crop season they will have more pest. While they are earning from Firefly Festivals, they will lose their crops later. So the villagers don't yet understand the repercussions that will have on that. So we need to draw out these entire food chains and ecological connections that are there to be able to say that how much is okay, what are, so I think good research based tourism also will go a long way, and it will be sustainable then.
Thanks for watching Eco India. If you like the story, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Scroll.in on YouTube.